Welcome back to the Analog Dungeon. Here's the final part of the Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl. You chisel the ice out of the top. You see, you're like, we need to go down. This is the way down, right? You could theoretically just go through the rift, right?
Yeah.
Not do any of the caverns in the rift that go off the rift. You could theoretically just take care of the stuff that's in the rift, which was a hunting party, the white puddings, and the Rimmeraz. Find this hole, drop a rope down like Indiana Jones and is that Raiders that he does that? I don't remember.
Which one?
Where? Well, shit. No, I don't. Where he drops down into, and I believe he drops down into the pit with the snakes.
That is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that's Raiders. Where he goes down and
the Covenant is in there.
Yeah. And then you go down. Who do you send first? Probably a fighter, something beefy. Goes down, starts lowering themselves down. Thief. Or you send the rogue.
Oh, you always send the thief in.
That's true.
They are eminently,
how silly of me.
They are eminently hideable, pocketable, and also disposable.
Sure. He climbs down the rope, climbs down to at least one ancient dragon looking at him, possibly into the dragon's open mouth.
Right. It's a dark cavern. Oh, it seems to narrow. Oh, there's a lot of, what are the stalactites that are sideways?
And then you just hear shomp, and then they go, frickin'. What do you see? You see? And then they
sharp tug on the line. They wheel up the rope, and it's like the fishing line. There's nothing at the end of it.
Yes. Or you hear a suspiciously dragon-sounding voice from below going, "Actually, guys, it's great down here. We should all climb down one at a time."
The female dragon's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I told you those YouTube lessons of ventriloquist would pay off.
Yeah, they're climbing down.
I bet I can get half the party down here before they realize what's going on.
This is basically shish kebab, honey. We never get DoorDash this fast.
This is called passive income. Passively, they come into my mouth. And she gives him a look, and he's like, "You know what I meant."
Yeah. So yeah, the sinkhole opens directly up. I'm gonna say, if you're a good DM, opens directly into the dragon's mouth for at least one party member. But back to the secret door. You've felt this ruse out. You pop back into the cavern. You look around. You take another look around. The nice thing here is, I feel like almost any group is gonna know for sure this can't be right. Gary's giving you too much of a heads up to this. This cannot be correct. This makes no sense the way it's written. You're looking around. You find the secret door. Literally in the book, it says this is the actual entrance to the Jarl's complex. It also says it's guarded by two large frost giants who have weapons and, of course, boulders. One will fight and the other will sound a great iron horn hung on the iron chain from above. But so you better be really good at killing giants real quick, or everybody in this area is going to be here to whip your monkey ass.
Definitely the kind of thing you should be at this point in the rift.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Unless you just did the rift and then chip the hole away and managed to survive the dragon eating you. Then maybe you don't know. Maybe you're like, I wonder what's down here. And the frost giant runs off. And then you have to deal with, this main area opens into, as you might imagine, caverns and locations for first visitors. This is like the more important visitors staying closer to the Jarl, right? We had the visitors up top who were waiting for an audience. This is like you have an audience tomorrow, come down here area. So we run into the Emissaries Cavern. And in the Emissaries Cavern, there are 5 ogre magi. They've recently arrived from the Lord of the Ogre Magi. They have had an audience with the Jarl, and after this I love this. After a special wassail to be held on the morrow, they will depart for home with a treaty scroll. So they are going to have a wonderful wassail tomorrow. Wassail, a beverage very close to my and Russell's wife's heart. It gets you really super drunk really quickly, and there's no reason. It's just hot. It's just hot wine. It's just hot wine with spices in it. Absolutely will get you shithoused.
Listen,
I don't
getting
get
drunk on mulled wine,
it.
it is the 1400s again.
It really is. And I don't know what it is. I'm an alcohol guy. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm an alcohol guy. I like bourbons. I like some heaters too. I like some hot bourbon.
We are both men of the millennial age. We have the bourbonization has happened.
Yes, we drink some bourbon. Mr. Jones enjoys a nice scotch on occasion, as do I. There's something about wassail I do not. It's just wine. It's just like 11%. Throw some clove and some star anise in there and warm it up, and I am dancing on the table 2 cups in. I don't get it. It's like magic.
Not to run too far afield from fantasy history to real history, but wassailers also kind of a menace, right? Like mummers parades, like Timamu, Mardi Gras, like you're going around and raising a ruckus because you're drunk off your ass, and the only way you'll leave is if people give you more to drink or more to eat.
Or food,
Yeah, just wandering wassail all over the town. It's like, no, these are the football hooligans of the era. These are the fucking assholes. You don't want them showing up.
There's a reason they want you to bring them some figgy pudding. Bring them some figgy pudding. Bring them some figgy pudding. And bring it right now. Exactly. So back to Ogre Magi, who are probably pre-gaming for the wassail. They have a scroll which is signed with a special mark by the Jarl and offers the Lord of the Ogre Magi 100,000 gold pieces in gems, plus whatever loot his minions can garner if they will join the war upon mankind in this territory. So 2 things. One,
that's big.
That is super huge information. That is the sort of thing that the people who hired you want you to tell them immediately, if not sooner. Right. But this is more of this ongoing plot. You've got Jarls paying Ogre Magi to join, which is unusual because, again, these are not tribes. These are not beings that typically work together. They're certainly not wassailing together and signing contracts to be paid to go kill humans. That's not a thing that happens. It's also interesting in that the giants are basically doing what the humans are doing to combat the giants, which is to hire people to do it for them. Mm-hmm. Like, so you're the Ogre Magi in this scenario, but the Ogre Magi for the humans. Each month they each have 5,000 gold pieces in gems, so there's a cool 25,000 gold pieces, which is taken from the Jarl. Yep. There's also a small iron casket which holds a gift to the Lord of Ogre Magi, a trick box. It has 18 plates of platinum, 100 gold pieces each, 18 plates of electrum, 10 gold pieces each, and 18 plates of silver, 2 gold pieces each. So the dragons are getting their design aesthetic from the Jarl.
Yeah, that makes
sense. They slide in a secret combination to open a small magical box of holding, which it appears to be 10 inches long by 6 inches, but it will hold 3 cubic feet of material or 3,000 gold pieces of weight, whichever is lesser. The box opens by sliding the plates in a specific order. If any plate which slides is moved out of order, a tiny poison pin will punch through the member holding the bolt or holding the box.
Wait a minute.
Yes, there's a poison on this guy.
Through?
Yes, it will punch through.
How big is this pin?
It hits any armor class on 12 or better. It gives you a -4 on poison saving throws.
Well, yeah, it punched right through you.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I'm picturing like you slide one thing the wrong way, and there's a tiny pin for a giant that like fucking stabs you through the middle of the gut.
It's basically a dagger.
It's the size of what Boromir got full of.
Well, so what would they? So why would they want to hide this in a box that's really hard to open?
Yeah.
Well, it has 2,000 gold pieces and 2 potions. One is a potion of Cloud Giant strength, and the other is a potion that Frost Giants would definitely not want to get into the wrong hands, which is a potion of Frost Giant control.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Here's a potion of screw us over.
Yes, here's a potion of we lose, basically.
Strong as a negotiation tactic. A solid choice if you want to, get some people on your side. Here is mutually assured destruction.
Mutually assured destruction. That's right. I was just about to say that.
Mutually assured destruction for you. Mutually assured destruction for your cow.
Here, yeah. The leader of the group also wears a necklace of fireball missiles, which he will not hesitate to use. So that potion of that fire resist that you got earlier comes weirdly in handy pretty quickly. B, if you think about this as a diplomatic mission, the fact that he's wearing, like, I love the subtext at play here, right? The mutually assured destruction of giving them a Frost Giant control potion.
Sure.
And the fact that the Ogre Magi shows up ostensibly with a meeting with the Frost Giant Jarl with a necklace of fireball missiles on, basically saying, we're not regular ogres whom you have seen they put to as servants and as people to do tasks for them. We are Ogre Magi. We have magic. We can firebomb this whole fucking place. Hey, let's work together. Why don't we? I love that amount of subtext, because it doesn't tell you any of that specifically, but we are very easily able to infer from what's going on that it's inferring the story. It's giving you that narrative but it's giving it to you in a way that you don't even have to read it. You just, as a person, can infer it, right? Really brilliant. I just can't say enough.
There's always a bigger fish.
Yeah, that's right. That could almost be the subtitle of Against the Giants.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're getting to. So once you've taken care of the Ogre Magi, there is the very next chamber that you would come to is another guest chamber. Inside that guest chamber, a single Cloud Giant who is the current guest and has just agreed to join the Jarl as his chief henchman. He's the number 2 to the Jarl, or will be the number 2 to the Jarl. Cloud Giants are big and scary and stronger than Frost Giants. They're also the tallest of the giants. Don't quote me.
Yeah, they are like toweringly,
sure they're crazy tall. Yeah,
I've always seen Cloud Giants a little bit more, and I think it's Cloud and or Storm Giants a little bit more kind of Olympus themed. Whenever I've seen artwork, so they're also kind of like bigger, more regal, more just like more Herculean in that sense.
The Cloud Giant in the Monster Manual, which I have, having it open here is really helpful. They are 18 feet tall, so taller than fire giants, taller than frost giants, much taller than hill giants. Storm giants are taller than they are, but the picture in the Monster Manual, literally wearing a toga. So yeah, you fully called that. Storm giants appear to be the biggest. They're 21 feet tall.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, Cloud Giants are not going to hit you with lightning. Storm Giants are probably going to hit you with lightning. So if it wasn't the fact that they were 21 feet tall that will dissuade you, it should be the fact that they're going to hit you with lightning. You got the Cloud Giant, chest with 11,000 gold pieces, and he has a big belt on it, which is worth like 3,000-ish gold pieces on its own. So again, we're building up treasure here. We're at the level of where all this treasure means not as many levels as it would if you were a lower level, but still levels upon levels. Then we come to a very interesting cavern as we're sort of making our way around. This is the prison cavern, and inside the prison cavern is a storm giantess.
Okay.
She is described, interesting, yes. She is described as comely to those of her ilk and as strong in fights as if she were a male.
Oh, so this is a muscle mommy.
This is yes. We have there. Okay, so we have mentioned there being potentially muscle mommies in earlier. No, Gary Gygax is the father of the muscle mommies because this is a full-on muscle mommy.
Come on.
We were just talking about storm giants being the biggest. This is a storm giantess, strong in fights as if she were a male. So she's bigger than everybody. She's bigger than the giants.
Don't make me go back and look up when Red Sonja was made.
Well, you know what I mean. The father of module muscle mommies that you weren't expecting.
No, yeah. But yeah, comely to those of her ilk, strong in fights like a male. Given we've seen a lot of separation in previous modules, I think the read that's trying to be given is like, this is Diana, Princess of the Storm Giants, who the temerity to chain her here is only secondary to the deep and unabating violence that waits to be unchained.
Indeed, as you noted, she is chained on the north wall with huge manacles at wrist and ankle.
She's around huge manacles.
Huge manacles.
I mean, come on, Gary. Come
on. Well, I mean, let's withhold some judgment at least. In the room is a fur rug in the middle of the place with a table and 2 chairs. Upon the table are heaps of food on golden platters, in silver bowls, and in 2 huge flagons of ivory set with gems that are 600. There were 600 gold pieces each. This is set to tantalize her into submitting to the Jarl's will and becoming his layman.
An archaic term for a lover or sweetheart.
Indeed. This, which we know for a fact the Jarl is married, so not cool.
We would probably say consort if we were writing this today.
Yes, a consort, though we would not write this today. This Durance Vial makes her a friend to any who rescue her, although evil characters will call this aid to be of brief duration.
Yeah, this is very much the "aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper" kind of imprisonment. This is also, you know what? Actually, this fits better as this is Chun-Li and M. Bison from the Street Fighter movie.
Yes,
to me. It was Tuesday.
Yes, 100%. So you could, I mean, you come in here. Nobody in your party should be evil. We're hoping, and you could have yourself a little bit of a hand taking care of the rest of the rooms. And I would have to say, the way this is set up, she's not fully fridged, but is a strong female character put into but if
this is slightly restrained violence that you can unleash on the rest of the cavern. This is like you walk in and you go, "Giant Ming-Na Wen, hold on." What are you doing here? It's like, I want to kill every giant in this place. What do you know? We want to kill every giant in this place. Buddy cop team up, Hong Kong action film giant team up. I don't see how you say no to that situation.
No, you turn to the rogue and you say, "Oh, why don't you go and where did the
rogue go? They're already manacles. They've buried themselves deep in that pair of huge manacles.
Yep,
and they are already in the midst of unlocking them.
Yeah, so now we have a muscle mommy of our very own to fight and kill for dual purposes.
That moment would make me feel so much like Henry Cavill from League of Ungentlemen, or
the Department of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
That's
yes,
it.
100%.
Walking in, yeah. Chaps, would you kindly let the woman, go. What say you to taking a walk with us through the rest of the cavern and seeing what we get up to?
In the next cavern, 16 ogres.
A light warm-up for our new best friend.
Exactly.
And party patron.
And it notes in this, they serve the Jarl, because these are not servants. They serve the Jarl willingly and fight fiercely. I bet they fight fiercely.
Oh, I bet they fight fiercely. I bet they fighting for their lives. I bet they are crawling all over themselves. Be like, nope, get out the way.
Yeah, you just take care of those guys, no problemo. Continuing out on around, so you've taken care of all of these little antechambers, anti-caverns in this area here, right? Then there is a connecting anti-cavern that goes to the Great Cavern Hall of the Jarl. But you have to go through 4 frost giants that are alert here at all times. Each has a club, a spear, and a throwing boulder at hand. You're getting boulders.
Boulders will never cease. Baby.
This is the boulder module of bouldering boulders. They will shout to alert the guards to the south if intruders enter the area, and they have no treasure.
Oh God, she's loose!
Yes, that is what they're shouting. They don't even see the small people with them. Like, oh my God, the princess of the warrior queen of the storm giants is loose.
Oh God, she's swatting the boulders out of the air. That was plan A through H.
She's beating me to death with an ogre.
I am actively currently being beaten to death by my comrade, and he's smiling the whole time. No, stop it all. When did we wind up in some Tumblr fic?
It's funny how at the beginning of this module it was like 4 frost giants, and you're like, oh God,
no, terrible.
Like, we got this. We're good now. Which I think is fun, and again, good from a design standpoint, because you can do, if you give the players a big resource, pun fully intended, because she's a big resource.
She's a hell of a resource.
If you give the players something like that,
include giant resources.
Right. If you give the players something like that, you can put crazy odds in front of them with the knowledge that the actual part they're going to have to play is much more at their level. And so you can say, here's 16 ogres, which would double the size of all but the largest party, right? And the ogres are no slouches. Like, they'll still fuck you up. But if you have the giantess with you, which hopefully you do, you can generally assume that, like, this is really only 10 ogres, because she's gonna body 6 of them in the time it takes the rest of you to kill 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. 4 frost giant guards, never saw it coming. Great Cavern Hall of the Jarl. This is where all the special functions and feasts take place. Various tables and benches now line the east and west walls, pushed out of the way until a time of need. Caged fire beetles, Jeramy's favorite, dimly illuminate the place, and it appears completely deserted. There are guard posts that are hidden in dark shadows, however. So there are these 2 large cliffs or ledges on sort of the left and right hand walls, and on them are watchful frost giants with ballista. It hits as a frost giant, 3 to 18 hit points versus damage versus man-sized targets, 5 to 30 hit points versus larger targets, which he can fire once per round. Each has 4 spear-like missiles for his ballista, 2 boulders, and his club. Neither have any treasure. So this is where you have to protect the giantess, or where a DM may potentially do away with the resource he's just given you.
Listen, I know he said that he wanted to turn her into a Lehman. And I know that we are saying we're going to turn her into a Lehman Russ. She's going to be a tank that is in front of the party. But you support that tank all day.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, we're keeping her alive as long as possible.
This might be the like sudden resurgence of party spirit that was flagging before, and they're like,
Absolutely.
Nah, I think we can actually do this.
Yeah, not today, everybody. I
Yep.
will also say this would be a very good use of those fireballs that you've been holding on to and not using, because a fireball that explodes up there, I mean, it's going to mask the giants aren't going to be able to see. They're going to have to deal with the slick areas, not you.
Yep.
So
Yep.
very delicate balance. I you can see just the very beginnings of the potential balance here, even without actually doing the math and doing the numbers.
Yep.
So that's all that's in the Cavern Hall of the Jarl. Unlike the Steading of the Hill Giant Chief, there is no big party going on, but that's been set up. We knew the party was tomorrow. They were getting ready to do their thing. We're a day early, which is awesome. Gives you a different vibe. I love that. The next room may be my favorite room in the module. And it's funny because there's
saying
nothing
something
in it.
Considering what we've gone through so far.
It is. It's it is the audience alcove and the throne dais, right? A huge ivory and bone throne decorated with skulls, silver, and gems rests at the back of this room. This is a dope ass throne. Again, follows the aesthetic of the rest of the cavern. Which
this is very
really
Robert E. Howard's Conan. This
For
is
sure.
like Conan the Cimmerian. This is absolutely what you would want to see your big baddie sitting on when you're reaching the end of the swords and sorcery adventure.
Exactly. Behind the throne is a white dragon hide, and in front of it is the skin of a giant polar bear, which is another monster that Russell called at the beginning of this that Gary gives you. Even if it is in skin form, he knew that you'd be looking for it. There is an alabaster table. There are 3 stools here at the forefront of the throne, and then there are seats for the Jarl's lieutenant. All are empty. Gary knows how to furnish a fucking throne room, is what I have to say here. The man knows what he's doing, because this is dope. Even though it is empty, but it is eminently lootable, provided you can either figure out how to rip all that off of the throne or take the throne with you.
I mean, you got to figure out some way to like shrink the throne down and take it with you. There's got to be.
Yeah, well, you do have. Well, it wouldn't fit in that box you found, but you could figure it out. You got time. You're going to clear this whole area out. Beyond that, actually directly behind it is a guard area. There are frost giants here. There's 2 of them. They look east and west. They have clubs and each have 2 boulders. If they see an intruder, they'll sound a large gong on the north wall. They also have no treasure, so you could knock that out and take them with you. North from this cavern complex is a kitchen cave complex. Within it, I thought this was interesting. 3 fire giantesses. Makes sense. It wouldn't be ice giantesses or frost giantesses because they're cooking. They can't, like, fire is uncomfortable to them. I love this. There's a spit roasting, or there's a spur roasting a horse over a natural fire pit. They are readying the Jarl's food. Mm-hmm. There are 4 human captives being kept in a cave that are being saved for the feast. Yummy,
because they're giants.
Yep.
They've got to have bread, and clearly that's what human bones are ground down to make.
Exactly. You can't get giant bread unless you have a ready supply of human bones.
No.
You can't make giant bone bread. That's disgusting.
You need the meal.
They are not fighters, but you can let them go. They do tell you, however, what lies ahead in the next 3 rooms. They will tell you there's a weapon cave. There is a cave where the sort of regular folk of the Jarl's area live. Mostly frost giantesses, young giants, and some kids, ladies. There's probably 1 male giant back there as well. Yep. There's also a kennel cave, which includes the Jarl's hunting pack of 4 huge polar bears.
Called it.
Oh, start the Led Zeppelin music now.
For the land of the ice and snow.
That's so fucking cool. So cool.
For hunting polar bears.
Huge polar bears. For
possibly
huge
even pulling,
polar bears.
I don't know, a giant chariot or sled through the snow. Like, we want to go full heavy metal here. Although I can also picture the human captives in the cage. Now you got to be careful. The weapon stash is next door. It's gonna look like just a room with a bunch of rocks in it. It just looks like where they were pouring all the rocks in from digging out the tunnels. But trust me, you may not have realized this ass deep into the cave. They really like to throw rocks.
No shit.
They are the cornhole champions of the entire realm.
There are
Skee ball is being invented in the Giant Rift.
There are 62 throwing rocks in the weapons cave.
That'll last you, well, let's see, the numbers we've had so far, that'll last you 3 rounds?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just windmilling those suckers like a tennis ball machine.
There are all the rest of the weapons in there, of course, are of giant size, so they're not useful to you, but you know who they are useful for. They're useful for your friend.
Hell yeah.
Who will kid herself out if she is not already kidded out. They do say, I love
the storm giant college shot put champion.
Yes, exactly.
Of the cumulonimbus U.
Seeing you. I do also want to say, if you thought you were tired of them throwing rocks, it notes that there are also 9 battle axes which the giants can hurl. At least it wasn't battle axes the whole time.
I mean, I might see a battle axe fly past and like cleave one of the thieves in half and pin it to the wall and be shocked for the half second of, well, that's different.
That's new. Oh gosh. So yeah, that's the weapons cave. In the common quarters, there is one male. There are 12 giantesses and 9 young giants. There's a ton of treasure and stuff like that. It notes if the male is killed, the others will not fight unless they are also attacked. So you're not necessarily having to mow down children in this module, which is always a bonus. There are various bags and boxes and chests. In one, there is 19,560 gold pieces. Just hanging out,
just hanging out
as you do. Yep, just there. Back on the hunting pack of 4 giant polar bears.
Sure.
What is a hunting pack of 4 giant polar bears? 2 males and 2 females. That way you have a ready supply of your little giant polar bears. Yeah, that's right. The males have jeweled collars with 8 100 gold piece base value gems, and the females have collars with 6 such gems each. They're treated as huge animals. You treat them as cave bears for attack purposes. They are very quiet, surprising 4 in 6, and will attack immediately. That is terrifying.
You're in the Arctic North. They close their eyes and put their paws over their nose. You can't see them.
That's right. That's right, baby.
They will sneak the hell up on you.
And if you don't get the information from the humans you found, imagine walking in here and going, "Oh, empty cave." Oh god, what the fuck is that? I also love that they're all blinged out, because of course they would be. The Jarl's gonna bling these boys out. So then you're going to run into the caverns of the Carls. It describes them as the Frost Giant Gentry, or at least this is the quarters for the Frost Giant Gentry. So
that
maybe
makes sense,
the free folk.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The caverns of the Carls. You have Carls and you have a Jarl, and he has Carls beneath him. Which
Jarls are kind of the like step above the nobles. They're the nobles.
The Jarl is the chief is
exactly.
like the
but they're of the
chief
nobility.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, we learned something new today. Maybe, unless Gary made this up, which I doubt it, because he wouldn't do that.
More likely the people who do know are screaming at us on the other side of the
for sure,
and of the microphone, and that's what's called engagement.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah, that is. Here's the nice thing though. They're screaming in Norwegian. I don't fucking speak that. I think it's a made up language. Well, no, Swedish is made up. Norwegian is real.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
They're all made up. Let's be real.
True.
All language is made up.
Right. Language is it. Language is a construct. You're totally right. In the Caverns of the Carls, you have this is mostly just another loot dump on you. You've got lots of things. You have a lot of those armbands from earlier with the bear on them that marks you as someone who can pass along with the Jarl. You know that if you still have the Storm Giantess with you, she puts one on to be ironic. There's 2 areas here. In this, there are 9 male frost giants, 11 female frost giants, 8 young frost giants, and then in another section there are 3 males, 4 females, and 5 young. So you're dealing with 12 male frost giants, 15 females, and 13 young here. So the males you would take care of, and then the females and the young would move away from there. So again, you're just plowing through more frost giants at this point, until you reach the Jarl's antechamber and trophy hall. If you thought, as I did, that Gary knew how to furnish a throne room, an antechamber and trophy hall is where he really shines.
This is where we get to really put out the show, right?
Yes, this is where you really get a sense. You've seen the Jarl's decorating sensibilities up to this point. You've experienced it. Now you see what is undoubtedly his magnum opus. Here, western is the sort of the western area of the cave. This is his private audience hall where he would bring people. There are pelts and skins on the walls and floors, a table, chairs, 2 normal shields, a heavy crossbow of speed. This is undoubtedly things that he took from human-sized heroes that tried this, and he killed them. A pair of huge ivory tusks. There are a bunch of scrolls that are worthless on the area. And then there is a little bit of a trophy area. On the trophy area, there is a bear pelt, a Sioux monster hide. Not sure what a Sioux monster is. A wyvern skin, a rack from a giant stag, which is so sick. The teeth and claws of an umber hulk. Imagine that. Giant scorpion claws. No comment on this particular podcast.
The horn of a phobia.
I wasn't going to tell the people.
No,
I was going to leave it to not know.
Pause.
No one would have known.
A phobia.
Russell
from
like
when
scorpions.
I was 5.
Russell doesn't like scorpions.
No one should.
True. There's nothing to like about scorpions.
It's not a question of whether I like them or not. It's that when I was 5, in the middle of the night, crossing our living room, I stepped on one that had gotten into our house, and I don't remember the next 24 hours. And
understandable.
That is a perfectly legitimate and healthy response
for sure.
to maintain a definite, very clear desire to, not deal with the thing that caused immense pain and trauma.
So now that everybody knows your horrible, horrible secret,
now I kill the shit out of rad scorpions in Fallout, but I do so often while sitting on a chair in the middle of a room with all the lights on, and sometimes with a couple of stops and checking the heart rate.
For sure. So you have to tell my favorite Russell Scorpion story, which is opening the minis in your car.
All right, so 3rd edition D&D. 3rd edition D&D, we start getting the pre-made, pre-painted miniatures, and there was the set where they introduced huge creatures. And this was, of course, like you randomly got different sets of minis. We were buying them in packs so that we could build up our miniatures collection. I had bought a pack This is at Hastings for those of us in this region of
Yeah,
the US that remember
yeah, yeah.
Hastings.
Oh,
And
love it.
I'd pulled into a parking lot and I'd opened up the box, and the way the box was set up was you had all the smaller minis atop the kind of cardboard frame that would hold the huge mini, which took up like the bottom half of the box. So to get to it, you had to like open the bottom of the box and shake it out. So I was in the parking lot in my car, and I'd opened the bottom of this thing and shook it out, and I'm pretty sure it was either a Drider or a Demon Web Pits spider lands in my hand. And it is, big spidery thing. It's got huge hooks on its front legs that are out and forward.
Right.
It's an arachnid that, just surprisingly lands in my hand. And my hands go up. It flies somewhere in the car. My feet go off of the brake because I hadn't put the car in park. And thank God I was in a parking lot with nobody else around, because I drifted like 2 or 3 spaces before I finally stomped on the brake, found where the thing was, put it back in the box, was like, I'll deal with you when I get home.
Oh, I wasn't going to tell anybody. I was going to let this go forever.
There is no part of my heart that I would not uncover for 3 points.
And this may be my proudest moment. The car scorpion story and quoting Brittany Mulligan. It's great. Okay.
Giant scorpion claws frozen and on the wall are not immediately a cause for concern.
Right. Would be well, I mean, I would say it's
like that's where they belong.
Celebration. Right. For you, it's cause of celebration.
Tempered by the like, how far did they go to get those?
Oh, it's fair. Yeah. Well, I mean, considering this, probably pretty far.
You would think that, but we ran to ice toads.
That's true. Are there ice scorpions? I do not know. The horn of a woolly rhino. A pair of mammoth tusks, that is tusks of a mammoth, not tusks that are very large. A pair of mastodon tusks. Go, Gary, knowing the difference.
Taxonomically distinct.
That is true. And the Jarl has to have one of each. Normal bow, quiver with 16 arrows. Giant boar head, not the deli meat, an actual boar head. A griffin skin. 2 shields. One is a +2, a dwarven skull with an iron crown. I would have that.
Yeah, you take that. Might turn that into a flail with the right kind of work.
Oh, absolutely. 2 cross spears and a flail, a tapestry, a case of crossbow bolts, the wings of a giant eagle, a great axe. The Jarl does not fuck around.
Yeah.
A suit of normal plate mail, 2 walrus tusks. One is actually an ivory covered horn of Valhalla, which is dope.
Okay, that's clever. Hiding a like emergency summon a shit ton of Valkyries in a or whatever. I forget what the Iron Horn of Valhalla summons, but it
summons berserkers.
Berserkers.
Yeah.
Bunch of mushroom chewing motherfucker. Like hiding that with your treasure to be able to quickly like run the treasure room, grab it, and blow it. That's solid.
Yeah, it's like sword cane thought. It's like, oh, I'll have this here. No one will realize it, and then if I need to, I can whip it off the wall and blow it. And I have a rave that I can then allow me to escape from. Shield, suit of dwarven splint mail, a shedu head. A shedu is, gosh, it's like a sphinx-like creature that comes from a different plane. And they're super evil, and I think they were one of the main early enemies of the Githyanki later on. Just a crazy call out here.
Okay, similar to Lamasu's.
Yeah. They look like Sphinx. They have like a cat or like body and a human human head.
I'm seeing bull-like body.
Yeah.
Strong short feathered wings, humanoid head, and a dwarf-like head. Like bearded male horns.
Right. Yeah. They kind of look Egyptian pharaoh-esque in the face.
Yeah.
If memory serves me correctly. Yeah.
Weird. But still a chimeric kind of. That's
great call out. The jaws of a subterranean lizard. a suit of elven plate mail. He's just collecting shit like Pokemon cards. I've got human armor, I've got dwarven armor, I've got elf armor, shield, crossbow, a big tapestry. There's one note that there is one shield that is magic, right? If it's taken down, it releases a spear trap, which fires straight ahead, hitting on 5 or better, causing 3 to 18 hit points of damage. If the walrus tusks are touched, remember you said this would be a really great
place for
this would be a great the Shedu skull will scream Alarum, robbers in Frost Giant until it is smashed to pieces. So it had layers. If he had to pull it, that meant that's his oh shit button. He pulls it to blow on it. It starts yelling to alert everybody. He blows on it, has immediate cover, and then he can beat feet and get the fuck out of here.
Wild.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And so that's all in one room, his audience chamber. Like he has, they're just you're in awe walking in here because it's otherwise basically empty. There are some steps that lead up to an area that's just a little bit higher up than you, and that is the Jarl's private cavern. This is the last room in the dungeon. It has one way into the cavern and then one way out, which we will explore when we deal with the guy whose name is on the front of the book, the Jarl. This very similar to his antechamber and trophy wall, has tapestries all over the walls, various pelts and skin, no particular worth, all the good shit you put out where people can see it. The Jarl, who has 80 hit points, which is almost double what some regular Frost Giants have. He sits at the table in his chain jack with a huge shield, +4 versus missiles. It's +1 by itself. He sits nearby. His sword, +4 two-handed at his hip, and a platinum drinking horn set with 8 gems, a value of 9,000 gold pieces, each in his hand. Across the table is his lady, a 70 hit point, wearing a cloak of saber-toothed tiger hide about her, an iron mace at her hip, and a gold flagon set with 8 gems, worth 6,000 gold pieces in her hand. He is, as we mentioned only once at the beginning of the module, this is Grugnur and his as of yet unnamed wife. And they fight as cloud giants with respect to damage. She fights as a fire giant in all respects. They have 2 huge winter wolves here as well, crouching under the table. The pets will take note of even invisible intruders due to their keen sight, hearing, and sense of smell. Various containers about the room just contains tons and tons of treasure, 3,800 platinum pieces, 15,000 gold pieces, and a box that has a bunch of potions in it: speed, extra healing, delusion, storm giant strength, poison, oil of slipperiness, healing, human control, tons of jewelry, thousands and thousands of 198 gems all over the place. This is Gary going, this is the final boss. You're not cheating your way through this. If you're invisible, the wolves are going to see you. They are looking directly at the way you're going to come in. They are ready. They are armed. They have had their last drink together, and you are fighting these two. You're fighting the Jarl. You're fighting his lady. And this is the climactic end. Well, we'll call it the Marvel end of the module, which of course has a little bit of an after credit scene that we will get to.
Now, is she a fire giant? It says
she is
fights
not.
as a fire giant.
She is a frost giant, but fights as a fire giant.
You
What
use
they
the
will
stats
frequently
of a fire
do,
giant.
yeah. You basically you say it's a fire, and this is a good lesson for you DMs out there. Reskin those monsters. Reskin them all day.
Everything can be a goblin.
Yep,
Does it have more than one attack? Staple 2 goblins together. Do what the Dale Keir would do.
Or just make it a really good goblin.
Is it too big of a goblin? Cut it into pieces. Make it into lots of little goblins, but it keeps the one stat block that represents the whole thing. You know, like the Dale Keir would do. Just take it and mess with it. All of it.
Yep. Reinforced in this with Grugnur. Reskin these monsters. You can take, if you want to create your own specialized like general big bad, right? I think we played a game once where instead of goblins we had gremlins.
Yeah.
They were different. They were more like chaotic, right? They were chaotic. You can do that if you want to have intelligent undead somethings or other. Do it and just skin a bunch of undead and call them that. You don't have to create new monsters. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, just slap and take.
Just do it.
Slap chop it. Take the couple of features that represent what you think is the essence of what that thing is. Is it undead? Oh, cool. I'm going to take all the undead resistances and things. Does it have the ability to pop back up like a zombie? All right, great. I'm going to take the zombie saving throw thing. Just apply all those things to whatever it is you got to do. Does it make it a little stronger? Cool. Beef it up one step on the CR chart. Whatever. Like there's ways that you could, but freestyle that sucker. This is not the chemistry of baking. This is the hot and fast of cooking. So get in there and fucking cook.
The wives in this module, in the original module, were not given names, right?
Okay.
But in later modules, they were given names. The fire giant, the queen of the fire giants was Froopy.
Right.
You got the chief of the hill giant. He was Nosenra, aka Arneson, spelled backwards. His wife was Grutha. Hi everybody, it's editing Jeremy here, editing the episode, and I want to come real clean here. I want to be really clear. At this point, I was having trouble finding the name of the Frost Giant Jarl's wife, the queen of the Frost Giants. And there's a good reason for that. It's because she's been given multiple names. First of all, she was given no name, as I mentioned. Then she was given multiple names. She was named in the 4E release of this module that was done in the Dragon Magazine Plus. And then she was also given a different name, in the Tales from the Yawning Portal book for 5e that came out. So in the 4e release, her name was Svarhilda. The Hill Giant Queen was also given a different name, in that it was Morzul, which is bad. But Svarhilda was her name in the 4E. In the 5E release, the Tales from the Yawning Portal, her name was Estia, which I think is the name people people don't really use either name, to be perfectly honest with you. But for completion's sake, we'll stick with Estia, since it was actually in a book that was released. So her name, Estia. So we've got Estia, which is the queen of the ice giants. Froopy, who's always had a name, she's the queen of the fire giants. And Grutha, who is the queen of the hill giants. Everyone has a name now. We're all set. Back to the episode. Once you take care of the Frost Giant Jarl, you have effectively finished at least what there is to do relating to the Glacial Rift of the Jarl, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as in the last module, the Study of the Hill Giant Chief, there is a little more to connect this to the next module. In it, we have, so it says, there's an eastern portion of the cavern, which is partially screened off, a huge bed, a small table, a chair. This is kind of a little living area, right?
Sure.
Walls are hung with pelts and rugs. Then there's a lid of a trunk, which has a secret drawer in it, which has 6 parchment scrolls in tubes. 1 is worthless. 2 is a curse scroll. 3 is a map to the Hall of the Fire Giant King. Noteworthy. 4 is protection from magic scroll. 5 is a scroll of gibberish with what written on it, Russell?
I prepared exploding runes today.
Kaboom! Exploding runes is on it.
It's a classic. It never goes out of style.
It never. It's that's playing the hits. A scroll with a bunch of bullshit written on it with a big explosive rune in the middle of it. Always funny. Do it to make your players fear reading.
It's like
make them all barbarians.
It's like classic Jim Henson. The commercials that Jim Henson made to sell products before he made Kermit the Frog all had the same punchline, which is getting shot in the face by a cannon or something exploding in your face, because it's just funny.
It's funny. It's never not funny.
Never not funny. I do question this was at the bedside table?
This was this was in a trunk with a secret drawer in it. So it was in the secret drawer of the trunk.
So kind of like the trap. See, I like when trapped or hidden items follow the same logic of the people who made them, such as hiding traps with your treasures in the treasure room, hiding an explosive payload with your other stuff here, so that if someone is coming to try to, rob your stuff while you're out, it alerts people. Or like someone sneaks into the room while you and the wife are away, it blows up or it acts as we take the whole trunk out of here, we get to where we're going, we open it up, and there's this little, in the distance, on the edge of the ridgeline, there's a little poof.
Yes, like a little, whenever Wile E. Coyote falls off a cliff and it shows from really high up, it shows him fall and you don't see anything and you just see That's exactly what it does.
Exactly right.
It should also mention you're dealing with scrolls here, and if one of them has an explosive rune on it,
you're destroying the rest of them. Yeah,
you might be blowing up the rest of your scrolls, which sucks.
We have also followed through on destroying most of the treasure that we have come across.
It's true. You could potentially leave this without having any treasure, or having very little treasure, I guess.
It's like reverse level drain is what that feels like. And I don't like it, but I respect it.
I love it. I actively love it. I think it's because you're given so much treasure here that losing parts of it, you can almost not be mad. Like you're being taught a lesson, which I like. So there's another scroll that has a spell on it that I've never seen before. It's a 9th level spell called Crystal Brittle, and it says will turn any one metal item touched by the magic user to brittle crystalline substance, even something as large as an iron golem,
or like a castle gate.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're thinking. Remember this maybe for later.
That I started to say that feels like such a foreshadowy bit of
kit. There's also a scroll of energy drain in here as well. It says these tubes will be taken by the Jarl if he is forced to flee and has time to get them. The Jarl might flee, you ask? Indeed, because there is an area behind the wall. Behind a wall hanging on the eastern portion of the north wall is a hidden escape tunnel.
Yeah, I didn't fucking trust for a second when you said there's only one way in and one way out of this room. I thought, bullshit.
There's another
Not in
way.
a fucking ice cavern. He's got slides hidden everywhere like Burger King. He's gonna throw a goddamn tapestry aside and go, have it your way.
I am now recontextualizing this entire dungeon as the tubes at the McDonald's play place.
A picture of a whole unholy amalgamation between the BK King, like the modern weird fucking head version, and like the Freeze Meister from Rankin and Bass.
Oh yeah. I'm Mr. White. Yeah, that guy.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep.
So yeah, he could very much BK place his way out of here. It is a natural passage about 1 mile long, which turns south and exits at the base of the mountain glacier area out of sight. Now, there is a little alcove in here as well, and the alcove to the northwest appears empty, but if it is examined with care, there's a 1 in 6 chance per person examining the area, and there's 9 of you, so pretty decent, that they will note a thick iron bar protruding from the wall at about 10 feet above the floor. The bar moves downward and transports whatever or whoever is standing on the floor of the alcove to a spot some 50 feet distance from the entrance to Snur's Hall, aka the Hall of the Fire Giant King.
Oh, this is the crunk pull the lever.
Yes.
Run the lever!
Exactly.
You wind up like the thief is just missing, and suddenly they're standing alone in front of the fire giant's hall going, oh, I have erred massively.
There's one tiny little bit of treasure here to sort of end off with, and it could be considered maybe the treasure, like the core treasure of the whole area, which is really the thing that's setting you up for, well, I mean, what we're gonna do next. Spoiler alert: the Hall of the Fire Giant King. We've
done one flavor of elemental giant. We have to do the other.
Well, yeah, exactly. So there's strong magic on the chest, does not radiate any magic at all. The box contains poison gas, which will form a 30-foot cloud. They do not want you taking this, which means you want what's inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
What's inside of it are, and this is this is told, at least the way this is put here, is this is supposed to have been grabbed by Grugnur on his way to the fire giant. So if Grugnur gets away, he grabs this as his bug out bag, and then he heads out.
This is his negotiation to like take me in, deal with these other things. Yeah.
Yes. Inside the box is a hammer of thunderbolts.
Hot damn. That's what we like to hear.
Yes. A pearl of wisdom.
Okay.
A pearl of wisdom for a spellcaster in 1E is pretty sweet. A set of 8 small jars of pigments. Nolzur's marvelous pigments.
Okay, that's not bad.
A ring of invisibility.
That's classic and strong.
Yeah. Strong. And a wand of paralyzation.
Beautiful.
This is the mother load.
Yeah.
And if you play your cards right, and if you negotiate the whole of the fire giant of the Frost Giant Jarl's subterranean complex, you end up standing here even more kitted out than when you started, with a straight path on to the Hall of the Fire Giant King to face the great and mighty Snur at the end of the G series. And that is the end of our module.
I really appreciate how this takes you, because you had steading of the hill giants, right?
Mm-hmm. Steading of the hill giant chief.
And that steading was all kind of self-contained, everything in one place. Yep. You could explore it all, but there's a party happening. All the players are in one joint, and you have to figure out, how can I crack that nut without completely losing my head? Here, exactly. This is a lot bigger, more sprawly, but around every corner you have a combination of, you have to think your way through the various hazards and problems, which would take your first assumption, just fireball it and say, well, you just fireballed a room full of brown mold, so write up new characters.
Yes.
You decided to move the boulder, and you now have 2 giant dragons to deal with.
Yep.
You know, all the treasure that you saw is now gone because of the fire magic that you use. Like, there's consequences to the actions, and that requires a bit more strategic thinking. You have to think heavily strategically to be able to survive this, which is one of the important and classic distinctions of a dungeon crawl. And that's where the double-edged sword of some of this can come into play, because it can feel just like I'm on the best, when it's done well, I am in a very unforgiving, harsh, black and white world that I'm not going to be able to talk my way through in most cases. I have to think my way through how to deal with these things in front of me, and that's done through investigation, through research, through thought, and in some cases you're pressured and not able to do that in a quick enough amount of time. So being able to think on your feet, make those choices, and be able to apply that strategy and logic in these moments, absolutely a great module to be able to show those things often, while still layering in our classic Dungeons and Dragons tropes. When you're going deeper into the dungeon, it's getting more difficult. When you're in the caverns up top, it feels very different than the whole of the Frost Giant Jarl.
Right.
And then being able to, like, we still have this very like thin layer of throughput. There's the negotiations between the various giant clans. We're leading to something bigger and stronger. You're uncovering things as you go along. Absolutely. I would be, this feels like the kind of place where you're stuck in out here, especially if you teleported maybe a little unprepared from the setting. Because there's nothing in here that tells how far away this place is from civilization, right?
Not from civilization that I know of, no.
So being able to reasonably fall back from this place, you're kind of in this area, which means you have to like find your own food, make your own camp, like all the little things that are like, how do I survive out here and deal with all the stuff that's in front of me? Because at some point I may want to leave. Like, you may want to wipe these giants out, return back to civilization from whence ye came, deposit all your money, level up.
Right. Do
that
your
may
things,
take months to be able to fully recover and get back up.
It very well may. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
and then
you are given a map.
Back. Yes.
You are given a map, or so if you don't teleport from the steading over here, you do find a map that you can get here, but it's a map. So you are, that's not like, oh, this is 8 hours away.
Right.
Like that leads you to believe that it is, you would think, several days, if not weeks, because you know that the Frost Giants are a part of this XYZ, right? So you're pretty far away from civilization, you would think, and you know it gives you a place where you can rest and recuperate, built in, just like the steading did. But really it all comes down to a way of playing D&D that people just don't do anymore, really, which is this sort of tournament style. Where was it where the story kind of took a, well, in this case, could take a huge backseat to just figuring out how to logic your way through this puzzle. It really is more like a puzzle and less like a cooperative storytelling sort of thing. The story is fun, but at the end of the day, at least for this more tournament style play, at the end of the day, the point is to make it through without losing anybody. And as we saw when we went over the setting of the Hill Giant Chief initially, they went through it in a way that had fun story moments, but they went through it in a way that was very efficient. You get the feeling that like you are like commandos, right? Now, if you want to be a commando, that's a sort of type of character you play. In a tournament play, you're considered to be kind of a commando. Like, everyone is here to do this in the fastest and most efficient way possible. So, and it's really, and this is much faster than the last one we read, because of the way that this group in 1978 at Origins ran through this module. And here's exactly how they did it. I'm going to read it to you from Dungeon Magazine issue 19 from 1978 Origins.
Gotcha.
Right? This was round 2. It's a second module of the tournament. The second leg of our quest, the Frost Giant's lair, proved to be an icy maze of caves surrounding a windy, snow-bound glacial rift. We found a war party preparing for a raid, and once again used fireballs to good effect, killing all of them. In this realm, fireball proved to be the most effective weapon available, as they almost completely obscured all vision and allowed our thief to strike from behind.
That's pretty important. Taking advantage of that.
Right, which almost always guarantee to kill.
Yes. Ooh. If your thief is one-shotting people with a I didn't want to say with a back shot, with a backstab.
The backstab.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hell yes.
That's how you do
Take
it.
your strength and overuse it.
After killing 2 snow leopards, so we know exactly where they are in this module. They're near the head.
Right.
We then proceeded to kill every giant we could find. A search after one such slaughter revealed a chest with special armbands and treasure, which we took with us. Once again, the questioning of a dead giant guard provided the information we needed to continue our quest to the next giant stronghold.
I love the continuation of the kill them, then question them when they're dead.
Yes, and there's a note here that says, what is truly amazing about the second round is how much they didn't kill and still managed to get into the third and final round. I'm sure that they mentally kicked themselves for what they missed when they got the chance to read over the material in Dungeon Module G2 Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl, which is also available from TSR for $4.49. But there's another note here that says, I had them for this round, and indeed they missed a lot. However, their clever questioning led to clues which compensated for the low kill ratio. Literally, rinsed and repeated from the last round, killed what they needed to kill, spoke with dead for the people they needed to speak with dead with, got all the information so they were not surprised, probably knew what was in every single cave before they went into it. And imagine, like, if you look at the maps, the way they're lined out, as I noted initially, if you know exactly how to get into the lower cavern, you can do that by you can even skip level 2 entirely. Sorry. You can literally go to the back end of the rift, take a cavern which has some giants in it, loop around to another cavern which has a couple of giants in it, and then all you've done is the rift and 2 little caverns, and you're done. Then you go down into level 2. You haven't alerted anybody at that point. If one of these giants are the giants that they questioned and they knew everything that was in the ladder cavern, you know exactly where the secret door is, so you're not fucking with the dragons. You go down into 5. There's a couple of guards. You continue around. You skip the giantess. You skip the ogre magi. You skip most of the barrack, or most of the areas with the other giantesses and the kids and the one male. You fight some guards in 10. You fight some guards in 11, the ones that were on the ballista bolts. At the top, you circle around and you're tangoing with the king and his lady, and then zipping on to Fire Giant land, no problem. Now, you've still had to deal with probably 20 fire giants, but you haven't had to deal with 200 fire giants. More likely like 80, 85. Which, I mean, that's how they did it. And yes, they missed treasure. Yes, they missed a lot of stuff that they might have been able to use later. I bet you they didn't get that hidden chest that had all that cool shit in it at the end, because you would have had to have find it, or they let the king escape, or they let the Jarl escape, because they're going to find him in the Fire Giant cavern anyway.
Yeah.
And then they move on, right? Easy peasy. But we don't play that way anymore, typically.
No.
A lot of people would say playing that way, what would they call that? Your power gaming,
it's tournament play. It's the same way as so in Magic there's competitive EDH, which is the competitive version of a very casual multiplayer format. And in competitive EDH, you are going for the win as early as turns 1 and 2. And you have to be prepared for other players to go for the win. So you play vastly differently, and you evaluate cards vastly differently. And you might see some of that as being very antithetical to playing your way of playing Magic, or the way of playing Magic. D&D tournament play vastly specifically changes what the motivations between players going into it are. It doesn't mean that it is the wrong way to play. It doesn't mean it's a bad way to play. But the notes are like, well, they missed a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, you scrape away all the non-essential and you only focus on the essential.
Right. When you do competitive barbecue judging, which if you saw me going here, congratulations, you're a mind reader. When you do competitive barbecue judging, you take classes, which you learn. Now, how do you, so you might think of yourself, if you've ever thought about competitive barbecue judging, how do they judge this? Like, taste is completely subjective. If I like things that are really peppery and I think that tastes really good, and I'm compared to somebody who doesn't like things really peppery, one of those things is like, if I say it's good, they say it's bad. So that's not how competitive barbecue judging works. When you take the classes and when you go through all of the things, you learn what the aspects of what the competitors are shooting for, right? You learn what the texture should be like, what the flavor should be like. You learn that, you familiarize yourself with the ideal, at least for competitive realm, what the ideal barbecue tastes like, and then that's what you judge barbecue against. You're not, if I I've done some, I'm not Kansas City registered, but I've done some barbecue judging in my days as a home smoker, and there have been many times when it tastes really good to me because it's my taste, it's my palate, my profile, but it's not at the competitive level. It's not at a competitive standard. That's D&D, right? This is, especially in this area, and I would argue in all areas, if you are with a like-minded group, we've said this a million times, if everyone's having fun, that's D&D. Bye-bye. You've discovered it. That's the right way to play. What's the right way to play? That's the right way to play. Everyone's having fun. If you want to critical role it and you want to take full sessions to shop and you want to create relationships and you want to act and laugh and cry and do everything, that great. We love you. Your place is right at the table. If you and your buddies like to play commando and you're all min-maxing your characters and the DM is like, okay, you're not going to survive this, and you come up with some weird cockamamie shit way of getting out of it, and you all love that, guess what? You're sitting right next to the other guy. Like, you're good to go. So this is from the very beginning of the hobby that this was like this way, and things have changed as far as how many people do a certain way, but as long as you're having fun, at the end of the day, that's what the game was literally originally made for. Just to have fun, in however way you want to have fun. It's awesome. That is the end of our look at G2, the Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl. But fear not, we'll have the start of a brand new adventure coming up in 2 weeks. As always, if you hate cliffhangers and you like your podcasts long and all at once, we offer this entire episode plus our entire back catalog from start to finish, uninterrupted, over on our Patreon. Find out more at our home base, analogdungeon.com. Now, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I'm going to. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. Take a second, leave us a like, tell your friend. It's easy, and it makes Russell smile and nod sagely in the middle distance. We'll see you next time.